from ArtTop10.com, and I'm here today at the Amalgamation exhibition. And I'm very pleased to be here with this wonderful artist. Please introduce yourself to us.
I'm Sirpa Pajunen-Moghissi. Bit of Finland there, bit of Persian there, so it's a mixture of various cultures. My name.
Cool. So very nice.
That's
very
why
nice.
It's so long and difficult.
And so tell me about these amazing artworks.
Okay, so this one is what happened about 2-3 years ago. You come to your studio at the stage that, okay, what am I going to do next? And you think and you wonder and you sort of try things out. Anyway, so my mother was an artist, so I often quite go back to what she did and how she went. I mean, she died 20 years ago almost now. And so I sort of have her journey to go back to, because we grew up together and, obviously. So I sort of sometimes look at the books I inherited from her. And this was another day in studio, wondering where can I take. We have a place, I go to Finland a lot in the summer, so I'm always been taking photos and so on, especially of nature, so I'm obsessed with trees. Anyway, so this day in studio, I found her old books about icons, iconography, yes. So when we were very young kids, 4 kids, she was too busy to basically do her big stuff. So she copied these Orthodox Russian icons, and she had quite a nice library of them. And I thought, I'm going to dig them out, and started looking at them. And then somehow the trees that I've been taking photographs in Finland and plants and whatever, and the icons sort of sent me into this journey, where I decided I'm going to do a series of something called Icons of Nature.
Okay, very nice.
And I basically took out the gods and the saints and the human whatever.
So it literally was, when you say a book of icons, it really was gods and saints, and you pulled them out of it and what left with the acorns.
So what I did, I sort of so these are my photographs with size, digitally manipulate, and I sort of paint on them and do various things. And so I just decided to use the sort of rhythms of these icons, because there's usually the central thing and then there's angels on top. And use the halos, and just place the animals and the nature in them.
So they're almost like a sort of de-religious icons, aren't they?
I think so, and and what's going on in the world at the moment with this mass extinction of animals and plants and so on. So I feel it was sort of something that was an interesting journey.
Gentle way of
to worship them. Yes.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Practically, how do you actually make it?
I know.
It's really difficult. Are these photos?
They are sort of, they are. Originally, they were photos. So what I do is that there's about 4, 5, sometimes 6 layers, depending if, the top layer is resin, and sometimes I even paint on top of that. But what happens is that I basically have a piece of wood, usually birch wood, and then I just build these layers into it. And where the photo, or the ones that were photos before I put them through Photoshop and editing and all sorts of things, they are printed on a clear film. So what I do is that then I collage the clear film on top of all the drawing and painting I've done previously.
Are there numerous prints in the background?
There are, but I'm quite good at hiding that.
I was just wondering that, because it looks so difficult.
It is quite.
There's actually more than one print.
So there are basically 4 A3 prints that I have married together.
That's very cool, I like that.
Thank you. And then I also use gilding, so I use silver or copper or gold leaf.
That's interesting.
Imitation
That's
leaves.
Really interesting.
And then
what's in the very back layer? Is that
so that's
decorative
because
sort of painting?
So this is basically, you can see the first layer of the paint. So this is what I have done first. And one of the reasons why I don't go all the way to the edge is because when you put the resin on top, it's much easier to sort of manipulate the thing rather than. So it's more of a technical reason why but I also love the edge.
I like the edge. I like the edge. I think it's really cool.
Yes.
It's interesting. Actually, let's go and have a look at some of the other ones around here. This is
okay.
Cool one.
So this is a little bit of older work. This is about 2 years now, and here I also done the edges with another little addition into what separates it from the other work. It's called Cactus. The way I title my works is because I'm sort of using Latin words. Obviously, cactus is quite an English word as well, so it's not a good example, but nevertheless, because of the Latin words, obviously, the original way of naming the plants and the animals.
Oh, I see. And I love this little bit up here, actually, with the little flying ants. Are they? What are they, coins, or are they?
No, they were actually these microscopic slides that I inherited from somewhere.
Oh, really?
So I sort of took photos of those as well.
They're really interesting.
Yes.
What's nice about it is it's quite hard to tell how you've done it.
Yes.
What's painted, what's photoed,
Yes.
but I mean, it's got a kind of cohesive look of something that exists, and it's difficult to tell how it's achieved.
It is, yes.
Which is really cool.
Thank you. It's not difficult, but it is something that I sort of worked on a few years to come up with the perfect something I like doing.
Do you feel it's a painting, or do you feel you're almost like making an object, like a sort of flat sculpture?
It's a little bit of a headache, because I'll send these emails to people and I say, well, what do you think about this painting? And then I say, well, it's not a painting, but then it's a painting. So I call them artworks.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're paintings anymore.
Yeah, no.
I have no idea, really. I think there is a lot of painting in them.
Yeah, there's
both under and sometimes on top and sometimes on top of the resin. But
yeah, I'm just curious in that blurred division between painting and object.
Yes, me too. But this is what I love doing, this sort of, because it's quite a journey for me as well, and I'm sort of learning and finding ways of making these art pieces. So it's really, really I'm still going for it.
You're still exploring.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Are there others?
There are two more upstairs.
Yeah, let's have a quick look.
Okay.
So here we are with fungus.
Yes.
And I love the title of fungus.
Thank you.
That's really cool. I like fungus. What was the idea behind?
So again, this is photographs from a Finnish forest, and just the idea. Same again with the icons and using, and I quite like the idea of mushroom, because it is the beginning of everything in some ways, and it's everywhere. And but it doesn't. But it doesn't have a really. I just.
No, it's really cool. I actually quite like these.
The needles.
The needles, but you've sort of mirrored them, haven't you?
Yeah, so I use InDesign quite a lot when I do my sketching.
Yeah.
And on InDesign, I just play with the photographs to create almost like a wallpaper on the back before I start building the next layer, which is usually
but it has
more
a nice,
of a focus.
It has a nice sort of kind of hallucinatory, mushroomy, reflective quality to it. And I like the different circles, they're nice.
Yes.
What are these, sir? Are the circles actually leaving sections bare? Is that what would be underneath?
Yes, so this is, if I remember right, it's a silver metal imitation leaf, and this one's probably copper.
Okay.
The copper is an interesting one to use because it sometimes, if you don't varnish the copper leaves on top, it starts tarnishing, which means that it starts changing color.
Intriguing.
So sometimes I really like using the copper, but you don't have much control over it.
Okay.
So if it goes really tarnished and bad and changes badly, it can sort of ruin the piece.
Which is a pain.
But sometimes it makes it.
It makes it.
Yeah.
Gives them
So, but it's a bit too risky because you got to that point and then it all ruined.
And then there's this cool butterfly
and there's one more,
which is nice. I like the butterfly. Hey everybody, Robert Dunn from ArtTop10.com at the Amalgamation exhibition, and I'm very pleased to be here with Sirpa Pajunen-Moghissi.
That's almost right.
I just can't hold it in my head for long enough.
I'm trying to hold the camera. I think we should just stick with that. I think that's beautiful.
No, we don't. Okay. And I'll say, please introduce yourself.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
bum buckler.